Hi everyone, thanks for coming back to Cardvoyant. I'm Chris and I'm your Cardvoyant, and let's learn more about the Major Arcana. Okay, then you've got the number 11 card, and this is the Justice card. And remember how I said a lot of the names are just going to tell you what it's about? Hey, this card couldn't be clearer. Justice card is about justice. It's also about objectivity, weighing the truth. It's about the truth coming out. It's about trying to understand the truth. It's about honesty. It's about the truth prevailing. It can often come up when people are asking about legal matters. This is specific to this card. But more often than not, this card is about fairness, about the truth coming out, about weighing what is right and what is wrong, and knowing that justice always prevails at some point. The way to remember the Justice card, what it's talking about beyond just justice, is by looking at the scales in this kingly figure's hands and understanding that it is about the weight of the truth. Now, the Hanged Man. This is one of those cards. There are several in here. This is one of those cards that people will see, like if I'm turning over cards in a reading, and it scares them. And really, there's really nothing scary about the Hanged Man. The figure is upside down, hanging from this tree. So there is this sort of symbolism that evokes the cross, the crucifixion, the crucifix, but this is not that. Even though there is that imagery, and that's another discussion. But basically, this is a self-imposed hanging. And he's hanging from his foot, right? But the idea of the Hanged Man is a pause, right? He's not going anywhere right now. He's pausing as he's in this hanged position. And the idea is flipping your thinking, right? When he's hanged upside down like this, he's got the world he's looking at is upside down. So this whole card is about pausing, resetting, trying to look at things from a different angle. And so it's a good thing. That's why he's got the yellow around his head. It's the idea of opening up the crown chakra, if you understand about chakras. And that's just about letting new knowledge in, taking the time to reset, rethink, reevaluate, and then come up with new ideas, thinking about things differently. When you look at the Hanged Man, the thing to remember is, the easy way to remember this card is he's not going anywhere for a while, and he's getting a different perspective. Okay, and that'll help you as you read for people who get this Hangman cards, because it'll be obvious that they need to look at something differently, or they need to slow down and pause and rethink things. The next card, this 13 card is the Death card. And this is probably the card that is most feared. People see this and the Devil card, which is coming up, but this Death card, and it freaks them out. I've never, and I don't know anybody, other tarot reader who gets the Death card that's actually about death. So often, almost exclusively, the tarot cards are meant to be uplifting. And when you are in touch with the non-physical world, the spirits are trying to uplift you and help you. And so they're not trying to be like, you're going to die. We all are, but it's not a message that is something that would naturally come through in a tarot reading. So this death card is really nothing to fear, and you really have to assure people that you're reading for sometimes, or yourself, if you turn this card over in a personal reading, that this is not at all about you or, you know, someone dying. Now, this card, Death, is all about renewal. Right? It's about things that have to die, things that have to be cast aside, but this is ideas, okay? This is sometimes about situations, you know, maybe it's a job, maybe it's just an attitude. A lot of times, actually, it's an attitude, and you can see in this figure that you've got these, you know, slain king, and you've got this other people that are sort of in death's wake. But death comes riding a white horse and bearing a flag with the white rose. And these are the ideas of purity and of sort of resurrection and of possibility, of new life. And so death speaks about things that have to go away in order for new things to come. And they have to. Okay, there are things that have to go away. And this comes to all people. All people through their lives have to let go of things. And it's the thing that, you know, people are most afraid of, change. But you have to let go. And death rides in and casts things aside that you no longer need. Please pay attention in the death card to the sun rising in the background, okay? That's what death can bring, the idea of death, and not dying as in people, but the death of things, ideas, institutions, you know, different situations in your life that you need to cast aside in order for something new to be born. That's what this death card is. And that may be actually frightening to some people too, but probably not as frightening as you would think with just, you know, the death card. So when you see the death card, the thing to remember with death is its exact opposite, new life. So you look at death and think new life, new beginnings. And that's the best way to remember it. And the first thing that you can say that can help people understand that this is not a bad omen or a negative card. As I mentioned, the tarot cards, the Major Arcana, are actually a journey sort of that we go on. And if you think of it that way, it seems very fitting that after you get this death card, which is this card of such upheaval, that you get the Temperance card. And if you put them side by side, you see this figure of death, this scary skeletal figure. And then comes the Temperance card, which is this angelic figure. So it sort of evens out, and it softens the death card that comes before it. The Temperance card is all about temperance, but that's another word that, you know, we don't use a lot anymore. But temperance is all about balance. Okay, it's about peace. It's about conservation in a way, because it's about conserving one thing in favor of conserving another. It's balance, right? It's this idea of not going overboard, of not being too all in about any one thing, about not being so consumed by an idea or a thing or a person that it takes too much out of your life. I will often see temperance come up in readings when it talks about people finding balance in their lives, right? Getting enough sleep, spending some more time at home if you are sort of a workaholic. It can be about your diet, about, you know, not just being, eating one thing or neglecting your health, those kinds of things. So it's all about balance. And as you can see, the angel in this card is pouring water from one cup to another. And so that's an easy way to remember this Temperance card, is that idea of trying to have the cups holding an equal amount of water. It's about that balance. We're moving right along here, learning the Major Arcana, so please come back and learn more. Bye-bye.